Isn't this exciting? So I wanted to go over a few more things that I have pulled out for this photo folio that we're going to do, and it's going to be a different kind of photo folio. Obviously, I mean we're pulling out all the stops here. I am having a blast and getting to use everything from all four corners of my craft room, so I am just tickled to death. I have a large collection of old buttons that I have received from friends. Some of these were my grandmother's collection of buttons, and then my mother had collection of buttons, and so I just went through and I pulled some out that I thought was going to work, and I tried to pull in some of the colors that that we're going to be working with. So I have that. I have this Tim Holtz collage paper, and this is the botanical, and I thought this would be really pretty on bits and pieces. So I have that. Now, if you don't have all this stuff, don't worry about it. You can take some tissue paper and stamp some images on it and Mod Podge it onto your work. Whatever, this is, let's create using what we've got in our room. I came up with another little piece of this handmade paper that's the brown and the gold. This isn't, that's not part of it. I got this not too terribly long ago, I think from a Black Friday sale, and it was Prima printables. And so you add whatever color ink you want to these, and parts of them collect the, they don't really tell you much about it, but parts of them collect the color. And so I thought that would be kind of neat to play around with and see what those were. This is a little Davis stamp set, Little Davis Designs. I don't know what the stamp set's called, but I love the swirls and all of these pieces in here. So I pulled that out. This is a Damask background stamp, so I've got that. This is a Finnabar stamp set, and I loved these two down here, the one with the flowers and the verbiage, and then this one's just kind of like a ledger looking piece. So, and this is nice too. And then this is the one that I had already started using. This is another Prima, but Finnabar stamp set that I have. So I pulled some stamp sets out. I have also pulled out, again, these are Prima. Well, this one's Prima. This is Art Alchemy, which is Finnabar. Yeah. So this one is Heather Hills, which really works well with the plum, and rose gold. I love it. You just can't go wrong with rose gold. I have this metallic gilding polish, and I hardly touched it. This is silver Hessian gilding polish, and this is put out by Cosmic Shimmer metallic gilding polish. So this we're going to play with. So excited about this. Brea Reese modeling paste, and it's the glossy dimension modeling paste, and it's a nice gold for what we're working with. I also pulled out my Claudine Helmet gesso, and which I also use the inexpensive gesso, but for on my table right now when I've got all of this product, I'm using the smaller container. Plus this one's a little older, so I need to get it used up. And then I have some pearlescent embossing paste. Of course, I'm using my art glitter glue. Don't need to show you that. Oh, and I pulled out, and I really honestly cannot tell you, I am so sorry, cannot tell you where I got this from. I want to say maybe the wood department in Michael's, but this is going to be our closure. I hope this will work. They're brads. So I don't have a feeling, I have a feeling that this is going to work quite nicely. And I think it'll go along with the project very nicely. I might try and get some of those buttons in there. What else? Okay. I pulled out some stencils because I want to do some stenciling. Okay, so I have, this is Penny Black. I don't know if you guys care. It's called Petite Blossom. Of course, the Tim Holtz. I don't know that he just has stencil numbers, but there's that one. I love this one. This is so beautiful. And then there's Gothic. This one I just got. I believe it's Prima. It came with some flowers. And just to use on the corner of the page and have it just come across, thought that was really neat. Prima Vintage Emporium. I love this one here. So, I actually don't even know, can't even tell what these words say. I love you, happily, very, I don't know, hugs and kisses, blessed, always my. So I think it's just some words. And then it's got a little filigree piece there too. So that's, there's what the filigree piece looks like. So that's nice. And then this one I just received for Christmas. And I like the leaves, the verbiage, you know, so we might not use all of these, but that's what I pulled out. All right, what else did I add? I went through my journaling. I'm going to pull you back out now. I went through my journaling papers and things like that. And and because I have so much, I put them in folders. And I have over here, right in front of me, is one of those old file folder slides things. And so I have the ability to just put this stuff in folders. Now this is some, well actually I think I showed you most of this. I think I showed you most of this. I had a few more scraps I came across that I thought would work. And I don't know. I think that was it. I don't think any of this is really all that new. I did put from my 101 series where I had all of that, all of this paper. I pulled that out and put in there, but I don't remember if I showed you that already or not. So, but I think I did. But I put all of this, anything that I can put onto my paper, but it's not part of the collection, I have in this folder. In this folder, I do have some things that I have added. I had told you I had done some printing. This was on one of the sheets too. I'll have to fussy cut it out, but it's just a little trim piece. And then these are the envelopes. I guess I've got everything upside down in here. Okay. So these are the envelopes. And finally, at the end, I was like, duh, I need to leave a little bit to fold over to seal it so that I'm not sealing it just on top of each other. So I have a nice, so I got one of them that I did this way. But anyway, these are really pretty. If I don't use them as envelopes, I at least have some other options with adding to my papers. But these are beautiful. This is a very pretty set of papers. Now, these are all things that you've already seen. Now, she had some that were called card kits in her paper line. And so this is the piece that comes with, I don't remember which one was which, but there was this piece on the page and then this on the side. So I cut these out, but I didn't fussy cut because I'm not going to fussy cut unless I'm going to use it, because I've done a lot of fussy cutting already. But so we have those. And then I've got these papers, which I'm keeping with my cardstock, which I'll show you in a few minutes. So yeah, so I have those, and then these were the exact same pages. I cut out 2 of them, and I started fussy cutting, and that's when I decided, you know what? I'm kind of done with the fussy cutting, and so if I'm going to use it, I'll fussy cut it at the moment. Okay, and then what I have added as far as other cardstocks. These are from the card kit pages that she had. So those are a nice addition. And then these were the journal, I think journal pages, but lots of nice pieces to add to my pages. And this plum on here, I love bringing that plum back a lot. And I already showed you that. And then I did add a couple pieces of this green, and I had already showed you that. So that is how I've got myself set up. I've got my cardstock in one of the bins, and then my 2 folders in another bin, and my stencils in another bin, and my actual papers in another bin. So there you go. Organized. All right. So, I mean, the next thing is to start working. I might, I don't know. All right, guys, we'll be back in a second. Okay, so the deciding factor on what size I'm going to do is what element is really important to you that you want to be able to use in there and use it completely, like the size of maybe one of the papers that speak to you, and you want to be able to get that entire picture on your front cover. So that would dictate your size. If you just like a certain size and don't worry about all the other stuff, you know, like I think one of my favorites is kind of like 8.5 by 6.5 or something like that. 9 by 7. Those tend to be the sizes that I make if I'm just not worried about any particular thing. I want to use these envelopes. These are 9.5 inches tall, and I want to use them as a flippy thing. So I'm going to add a 1/4 inch on both sides, so I'm getting 10 inches. So my height of my album is going to be 10 inches. Then from there, I just try and figure out, so this is the one I cut off. Let me make this 10 inches so I can show you. Okay, so this is the height of my outside pieces, all right? Now, this paper is textured on one side and smooth on the other. I think for the outside of the book, I don't know. I never even thought of that until I turned it over. I think I will leave the textured side on the outside, and because things seem to adhere better onto a flatter surface. There's less air flow and things like that. So all of the mechanical parts of the book are going to be, let me move you out. All the mechanical parts of the book. Now you can see. Sorry, I looked up and 10 inches. You couldn't get it in there. Okay, so now this is 8.5 by 10. I think that's a great size. So I think I'm going to go with this size, and then I don't have to cut the sheets this way much, you know, or if I need to, you know, put a hinge, I can make a hinge if I want to have the full 8.5. But anyway, okay, so that is the size of the book. That is where we're going. So this is the start of it, and so this is my very, very, very back piece. This is the back of the cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut. I've got 4 pieces here just to get started with. I'm going to go ahead and cut all 3 of these to 10 inches. My cutter can do, this is thicker paper, but my cutter can do it. So, all right, so now we have 4 sheets. So my very back, unfortunately, this only goes to 8, but it's a lot easier to put on my table. So we'll just be flipping. Flipping! All right. So I'm going to put a 1/2 inch. And then I am going to go to 1 1/2. So that's giving me a full inch. And then I'm just going to flip it and finish my score marks. And I'm going to do that on another piece because this will give me my 2 outside edges. So there's my 1/2 inch and then all the way over to 1 1/2. Flip her around and just finish the score. All right, move this off to the side. I'm going to put this off to the side as well, and let's get these folded. Now remember, I want this to the outside, so I'm going to fold this way. Make sure you're matching up. I hope everybody is having a wonderful new year. This is still January, if you're, just so you know what I'm doing. If you don't have textured paper, it does make it a little easier because you're not going to have to worry about, of course, I'm only really going to worry about it on the cover because the rest of it is going to, you know, is not going to really matter as much as the cover. The cover takes quite a bit of beating. So let's see. Before I add this down, I am going to make myself hinges. And I'm going to make them using an old envelope, Tyvek, okay? So this actually measures 10 inches, I believe, just shy of 10 inches when I fold it in half. The stencil fell out. So I'm going to go ahead and do with these. But what I'm going to do first, now if you have just some plain Tyvek envelopes, that will be better. Come try ya. Now, if any of you know where that came from, you let me know. Come try ya. And it goes, come try ya. Yeah, I'll be interested to see if anybody answers me back on that one, because then I'll know something about you and you will know something about me. And, yeah, that will be fun. That will be fun. All right, I'm just going to glue this this piece down. I don't know if I have a clear one. Let me see if I have a piece that actually doesn't have any writing on it, because you will be able to see some of this. And so I'm going to find if I have just some plain white. I'm going to take my Victorian velvet and I am going to color it. So I'll just show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to color it with the Victorian velvet a little bit, so it's not just a plain old white piece. All right, so that's what I'm going to do, and I will get back to you as soon as I'm done with that so I can show you how I'm going to make this. All right, be back in a sec. Guys, I am so sorry. I have been working diligently talking to you, but not for very long, so I just did one thing. Talking to you about what I'm doing, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Anyway, I'm back. cooking with all the cylinders now. Okay, so on one of these sheets that we put our score marks in, okay, I cut one of them. I cut 3/4 of an inch off of it, and that's going to give us, that's 3/4 of an inch, and that is going to give us placement for my closure. Now, your closure may need more space, or you might be using magnets. You could take it all the way to the end, or however you want to do your closure. Now, I know I did not make this piece of paper, but I want this piece on the, not the top of my, because I'm going to have it open from my right hand side over. So that's going to be the top. This is going to be on the next page. Okay. But I want to use a die cut and cut out so that you can see this beautiful woman coming through the top sheet. So I know that I will lay this sheet down half, in the center. So I just eyeballed it, but I basically got it in the center. And then I made sure I left room for folding. So I didn't put the top sheet all the way to the edge of the bottom. I left a little bit of space for some good fold room and stuff. Okay. And then I did my placement where I want it. Let's see. I think I've got a little crooked. Okay. So, let me erase my first mark here. And you pretty much got to do this before you attach your pages, because you're not going to be able to put the whole thing through your die cutting machine. Thank you. So I pretty much want this right here. So the part that, because I have my top page underneath this, and I moved this a little bit as well. So just make sure, take your time, make sure you've got everything straight, because you don't want this to turn out to be crooked or her not in the center. So that's about where I will place this. All right. In fact, I'm making a mark on the bottom sheet where I'm placing this, so I know that I'm going to place it just right. And I want to also make sure, because I want to have a piece that's going to go around this, and it will, I think I'll pull this down just a little bit so that I can have a second frame around this first one. All right, so now I'm happy with that. Actually, let's make sure we pull it so that the whole, it doesn't show the bottom. I don't want it to show whatever piece I put here. I want it to be all on this paper. So I've pulled the cut line down below this paper. And let me just make sure it's right where I want it. And now whatever is left, which is not much, but it's enough, I'm just going to put a mark so that I know that's where I'm going to place my die cut. See, I made this mark from the die cut. So now I know when I place this die cut that I'm going to want it to line up right to that pencil mark. All right, so let me get some of my micropore tape. And remember, with the micropore tape, you do want to get it on your skin a couple times before you lay it down, because it can, especially like with this textured paper. Now, I just want to make sure I am straight again. It will pull your paper up, and we don't want that. Okay, so I am going to, now this is actually 6.5 inches or 6.25 inches, I think. And my regular die cutting machine won't do that. So I have to get my big kick out. If you're going to do this and you would just cut off another 1/4 inch and make it 6 inches, it won't make that much of a difference. and just fold your paper in and do your die cutting. It won't be any thicker here to go through than with the die cut on this side. So it would probably work just fine. Just take it slow and steady with your machine. So I'm going to get this cut and I'll be right back to you. Okay, sorry, I have my dog in here squeezing his toy, and he's dying for me to play with him, but I've been playing with him. So don't think I'm ignoring my dog, but I am definitely trying to now. I think that I'm going to want to have this on the spine, but I'm going to want to put a piece of paper on there, but I don't know what I'm going to put on the spine yet. So I've kind of created two little pieces. They're less than an inch. Well, this one actually needs to get cut down a little bit more. I guess that is an inch. There we go. They don't have to be straight or perfect or anything, just so that they are kind of tall enough to take up the space that's needed. And then I have some repositional, and I'm just going to run a tape down both sides. And this is basically being a space saver, to be able to still have room underneath this to slide my papers. Hooch, honey, would you please relax? Oy vey. It's snowing outside, so all he wants to do is go out and play, and I did that for quite some time in the dark. But he's never appeased. Okay. All right, so I'm going to place my papers down on the repositional. And, you know, that stuff will just wipe off. So it's not going to damage our paper or anything like that. This is just, like I said, for a placeholder. Actually, let me cut this a little thinner. When I was looking through my stuff, I found my my scissors that I got for Christmas last year. And when I was looking through stuff for, you know, what I wanted to use for this, I found them. I'm like, oh my gosh, there they are. All right, so I'm just placing that down there. So it's basically just a placeholder so that I'll be able to lift this up, pull it out, and slide a correctly cut piece of whatever paper I want underneath the ribbon. And, you know, and then make sure it's all attached. So now I am going to put some double-sided tape. I believe this is 3/8 down the center on the inside. Don't stretch your tape, just lay it flat. And I am going to cut it, because I want it from one end to the other. Flip this over and do the same thing. And if you don't want to have ribbon, if you have something else you want to put in here, it has to be flat. All right, that is the only thing that you have to worry about, because I am going to be putting a hinge on both sides, so I have to be able to adhere it down. And this ribbon is nice and thin, so let's make sure we give it a good burnish. And I've not really done this before. It just seemed like I should put a spacer for the paper on the other side. I might find that it's more problematic than useful. I don't know. So you guys, we will find out together. So I'm just going to start this somewhere here in the center. And I also think I'm going to put a string of glue just on the inside, not on the outside. Because I want this to, you know, because my binding system is going there. I want to make sure this is glued down nice and tightly. And you can hear me, and I am on. Good. Okay, so then I'm just wanting to make sure that I get this in the center, because it'll look funny if it's not. So there, I think, is the center. And then we're just going to pull it around. And I'm pulling it snugly, but not where I'm going to bend the paper or anything. Pulling it around and laying it down, making sure I'm still in the center. Hooch, what are you doing? What are you doing, honey? Come here. Oh, let me look and see what the heck is going on with him. Hey, no, sir, that's Mommy's ribbon. No. Oh, he's all... you know, I have my ribbon hanging on my door, and he loves getting in that stuff. Hooch! I'm sorry, guys. Lay down. He and his brother are playing so hard, and his brother, my little dog Nikki, has hurt his eye. So we gotta keep them apart. Well, and then Hooch got his got neutered, and so we're supposed to be keeping him quiet. Ha 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 ha. So it has been amazing. So I think that is going to work out fine. But, you know, we will see. We will see. So let's do the same thing on this side. And I did the dishes, so my tape came off. Where's my... There it is. I can't stand the clanging. Clank, clank, clank. I got enough clanking going on in my head. And with my puppies. Go lay down, honey. All right, so let's do this again. A little bit of glue. This time I'll try and get it right against the edge of the tape. This is 5/8 inch ribbon, if you wanted to know that. Hooch, he's actually over there chasing his tail. And you know he's bored. When he is bored, that's what he does. Not all the time, but he's really bored. Hooch, stop it. Okay. And we'll pull it around. Come on, give me a little extra here, please. Okay. Nice and snug. Get it in the center. And fold it. And bring it down to the end. You don't have to overlap it. In fact, it's probably better if you don't. I might have a teeny bit that's overlapped. Yeah, so I think that's going to work for me. All right. Oh, don't they look pretty right now with the black and the and the red? Okay. Now, let's put this back. Let's get our back base out. I'm putting my... Okay, so this part that is cut shorter is on my right. You can do it either way, but that is the way I'm going to do it. Now this is a 1/2 inch, and I am going to use score tape. Because remember, we did a 1/2 inch and then an inch, because that is going to be how wide... Let me go ahead and cut it. How wide our book is going to be, our spine. Let's get this one done. Yeah, we've been snowing for a little while now, and we've got It didn't take very long to cover everything. Lots of little flakes. And little flakes means lots of snow. For those of you out there that aren't a big snow person, we lived in New Hampshire for almost 5 years. So we know about snow. Okay. So I'm going to take my first page, take my score tape off. I got a dog hair. Don't want a dog hair. Okay. I'm going to get a little bit of glue and put it on both sides of the tape where it's still paper. Well, actually, I think I'll only put it on the outside. I don't want the glue gooing into the inside. And if you want some time, if you float a couple of dots of glue, this will allow you some wiggle space before you have to put it down. Make sure you're making it even and staying out of the fold line. And you should be able to pick it up, move it around as needed. And there we go. Page number 1. So let's flip it over and give it a little bit of a burnish. Make sure we're spreading the glue and getting all the air out of the... Okay. Yeah, I just am really excited about this. Hooch, honey, please go lay down. You're going to drive all of my friends here crazy too. Good boy. All right. I've been really excited about being able to get to this. I've had these papers done for quite some time now, and I wouldn't allow myself to pull anything together until it was time to do it. So, and as you all know, if you saw my Hey 2021 Let's Get Started kind of video, you know that I am really looking forward to doing some playing this year. All right. There we go. Yeah, that looks nice and even. Good. Good, good, good. Now let's... Oh. Well, I'm going to have to move it over. What? Why did I... Because I cut it shorter. I didn't put that into my little brain. But that's all right. We can work with it. In fact, it'll probably be even prettier because I can put a nice, really pretty border right here and then have her there. I've been thinking about doing a snippet roll and using that here. Something on a smaller, more demure, scale, I guess. Because this paper's not super thick. It's the color I wanted, but it is not super thick. So we will be building it up and stuff. And remember, my paper that I'm using is really thin watercolor paper. So we are definitely going to have some interesting things with this thinner paper. But, so if you have 65 pound, that is probably what this is. Oh, hi. Sorry, guys. My dog is climbing on me. Hi. Yes. Hey, I'm busy. I'm busy. You have been playing. I have been playing with you all day. This is my time. No, guys, I'm gonna have to. Don't get your drool on. Yeah. Here. Say it. You. Here. Say hi. There he is, guys. He's a big boy now. All right, guys. I guess I'm getting called. I will try it again in a little while.